something feels a little off about God of War Ascension. It's not a bad game, in fact it has quite a few enjoyable moments throughout. Unfortunately, the bar has been set so high by the series that anything less than spectacular is a letdown. Ascension is good, it's just not God of War good. I realise that I'm going to be highlighting things that will not bother everyone, and if these particular issues were found in any other game they might not stand out as much. But I'm picky, and the previous God of War games have been some of my favourite that I have played, so when one in the series falls short, I need to know why. What is it about it that bothers me so much? Why don't I like it nearly as much as the others? I've managed to isolate 4 aspects that when added together diminish my overall appreciation for Ascension. The first and most noticeable is the changes made to the combat. On the whole, there are some good ideas incorporated. Taking away other weapons and making the Blades of Chaos your only weapon, but adding elemental abilities to the blades is a good move. No matter how many weapons I would acquire in previous games, I always played with the Blades of Chaos for 90% of my time, so making them the only weapon makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense is how half the moveset is locked off until your rage meter is full. In previous games you would fill up your rage meter by attacking enemies. Once filled, you can activate a special ability for a short period of time. It helps you out in combat, but you are never at the point where you rely on it to get you through the game, as you already have a wide array of combos available to use. In Ascension, they changed this. Now a lot of those combos that I used in all the other God of War games are locked off until I can build up my rage meter to full, and then I can start to use those longer combos. The issue I have with this is that something that has been with the God of War series since day 1 is now not available until you fill up your rage meter, and the very moment your rage meter is not at max, all of those flashy 8-hit combos are no longer at my disposal. I do understand what the developers were trying to do, trying to get players to be more skilled at combat, get hit less, master parrying, use the grapple correctly and be more aggressive. It does work some of the time. There is joy to be had when it all clicks and you can pull off a wide array of combat actions. However, changing the foundation of the combat, the moveset of the Blades of Chaos, for the worse is something that irks me. It becomes quite annoying not being able to use the most enjoyable combos in the game from the outset like I could in previous entries to the series. So the combat let me down, the building blocks of any God of War game. Moving on to the story.
What do you know of the Oathkeeper?
It's fine, not amazing, but does the job. It is nowhere near as epic as the story from God of War 1, 2 and 3, and it feels unnecessary to once again be visiting Kratos' past. This has already been done before in the terrific PSP games. There is also a problem with there being quite a long time between plot points, and when I do get some explanation as to what is going on, it normally doesn't feel like enough. Where Kratos is and where he is going is often not memorable. To give you an example, while playing someone walked in on me and asked where I am in the story. I actually couldn't tell him. I had no idea where I was or why I was moving Kratos forward. So the combat is not up to par in my books. Story is forgettable. What about the platforming? Well, I'll just show you. Yeah, it is odd. The momentum seems to be off. Sometimes Kratos grunts for one animation and he won't grunt when the next exact same animation is performed. As for what you can and can't grab onto, that is a mystery that is best resolved by just wiggling the analog stick until Kratos finds a ledge he can manage. For something that is used so often, more wall climbing is performed in Ascension than any other game in the series. It feels underdeveloped. like more time was needed to fine tune it. As it is, the platforming is awkward at best, comical at worst. The final thing that bugs me about Ascension is the absurd amount of hand-holding cutscenes. These type of cutscenes are nothing new to the series. God of War has always had a fixed camera which can show off its amazing cinematography, so when Kratos comes to a new area, the camera will pan around to give you an idea as to what to do and where to go. That is fine, it is understandable, and it is necessary. However, in Ascension, this happens far too often and for the most obvious objectives. Really? I couldn't figure that out myself. Were the developers so afraid of players getting confused as to what to do at every point of the game that they put in a ludicrous amount of these cutscenes? They are a constant interruption and only serve to annoy me. While this video is mostly negative, there are some interesting aspects to Ascension that I did enjoy and should be mentioned. Giving Kratos the ability to pick up weapons that fallen enemies have left behind and use them for a bit or hurl them at other enemies is pretty cool. The up-close minigame of dodging incoming attacks while also trying to inflict your own vicious damage is enjoyable, and I would like to see this idea expanded upon in later entries to the series. One or two of the puzzles involving manipulating time are thought-provoking and are different from any other type of puzzles in the series. These are all parts of Ascension that are certainly worth revisiting down the road. Unfortunately, combining the combat that irked me, the forgettable story, the substandard platforming, and the unreasonable amount of hand-holding cutscenes has left God of War Ascension as the worst game in the God of War series. It is a good game, just not God of War good. So those are my thoughts on God of War Ascension. I really wanted to like it more than I did, but so be it. You can subscribe to see a new video every Thursday and Sunday. Thursday is an original video like this, Sunday is the podcast with Nathan, Randy and Elle. Fun things, lots of cool things, shenanigans, whatnot. Couple of videos for you to watch there as well, or not, who cares? Do you? Never mind, I'll see you next week.